they not want us to see, but I think that's for the other group, actually.
Something in the
Oh, yeah.
dice area. Did I do something in the dice area?
I see
Oh,
the
yeah, that is
champion roll
for-
from about a week ago.
That is for the other party, yes.
That's for them to worry about.
Oops.
Hooray!
I'm on the wrong scene. Nope, wrong scene again. Perfect scene. Why is Cyril's one not working?
Hmm?
Your reactive isn't working for some reason.
Yeah.
I knew it was something I should have checked. Yeah, damn it. Hold on. Welcome in, ladies and gents. Where's my rules?
Next question I have to try and figure out for myself. For future questions, I need to send to Liffy. What on earth can I actually ask her?
Ash.
How
We're
figure
live.
out where we are. Oh, we're already live. Dang.
Yes. Posted to ads a few minutes ago. All right. But hi, Ash. How you doing? All right.
Trust still there.
Why is Cyril's reactive not?
Where on earth is he
Clap.
not in the game yet?
No, he is.
I'm in the game.
Yeah, I see him on the list now. Huh. I don't know.
No,
That's
it's
weird.
his
Is
avatar
it
not
something
working.
that I can do on my end, or?
No,
Well, you're not showing up on
really.
the stream.
Yeah. You should be. Everyone else is showing up on the stream. So I'm not sure.
They
Okay,
said,
hold on.
well, we to give you the ultimate nail in the coffin for the previous graphics card I was using.
What was that?
Even the stream looks buttery smooth now.
That is amazing.
Smooth.
Cyril.
Yeah, screw this
What the
NVIDIA
fuck?
card. It is not very good with Linux.
Why is this not working?
You'll just put a PNG of the cereal there.
I mean, it'll work as a temporary stand-in. Doesn't necessarily need to respond to when he talks.
Yeah, let's see. The weird thing is that it's working for literally every other person.
Yeah, it is weird.
Cyril test.
Testing 1, 2.
Huh. Yeah, no, it's just that single individual one isn't work, which is weird because it's showing up on it's showing up on the reactive page. But
Maybe
it's not showing up on the OBS.
Leave call, rejoin.
That's a good thought. Hold on. Let me browser.
I meant Cyril.
Oh. That's also a good thought.
So leave this call and come back?
Yeah.
Day. Oh god. There we go. That fix it?
I don't see
Nope.
him
I
on
think
the
I have to
stream.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix.
Alright, now that that one didn't work, you have to leave and rejoin.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me actually close out my Discord too. Don't worry about the circles. That is telling me that reactive is seeing his thingamabob. But hello everyone. I'll do my intro here in a second once I have everything working. Let's see.
Whole time.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
What happened? You good?
Yeah.
I can see a crap ton of gears on the stream, but I don't see anything loading in yet.
Yeah, that's what
'cause there's a
reactive
lag.
does. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Reactive has to process that I have left and then rejoined. And let me just.
We're all gears now.
Yes, we must make a whole Warforged family.
No, not even Warforged. We're all just cogs in the machine.
Oh my god, could you imagine an entire Warforged party?
That would be,
I'd be down for playing
horrifying.
Warforged sometime.
I would be down with playing.
I'm still not making cereal.
Construct in any regard.
Oh my god, that is weird. Why isn't it making
Because there are
cereal?
technically more than one now.
Let me try.
Oh,
let me try doing something real quick.
What the heck? What is going on? At this rate, just throws
Okay.
PNG on the back there.
I
don't think that's the PNG we were talking about, but that
I think the
works.
model just wasn't loading for some reason. So let me See if this works.
Halfway through the stream, it loads up and starts fighting with the PNG for space. Crashes the
That's
stream.
not the one you should be on.
Turn it
Just
off
like
and on
alchemists
again.
multiplying.
There we go. Hmm. Why is this having issues with exclusively yours? I don't understand. Okay.
Whoa, what?
That was the wrong one. I'm sorry.
You're
Why
fine.
would you do that? I'm
What?
gonna get a coffee.
I promise I was trying to go for the sad trumpet.
Hmm. Huh. Yeah, no, it's just not loading his model. That is super weird. Let me try one more thing. Try to see if this works.
Perhaps my model is sick.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. It might be
Your model is
sick.
too powerful. The stream needed to boot it.
Okay, there we go. So that's your Discord one. Okay. Is that just your Discord profile? That is just your Discord profile. Okay. Why is your Discord profile load, but your other one doesn't?
I mean, I can load up.
I mean, it works.
I can load up a new one into the chat.
If you have like one with a clear background, that'll work the same.
Yeah, I can send you my one real quick. Token. Oh yeah, that one works. Yeah, that one should be what we need. Normally I just overwrite it and it's fine, but it doesn't want to be overridden for some reason. And I'm shocked because you're the only one that doesn't want to work on.
Well,
I've never had
you
that
up.
problem before.
it wouldn't be online D&D without technical issues.
You know, that's fair. I think it should stay this way. You know what? Yeah, it's fair. Let me actually move you behind.
I am not gonna lie, Sin. When I tried playing from Roll20 with my other group, 9 times out of 10, I actually have to manually pull out my token and put it on the board myself because the one that the DM keeps getting by default cannot be controlled by me for some reason that neither of us have ever figured out.
Jesus Christ. Roll20 has had issues for who knows how long. Every time we're in my brother's campaign, we have the same issue.
Yeah, that checks.
It's so weird. It's one of the reasons why I prefer Foundry so much.
The funniest part is I am the only one with this issue, and
that's
that's the reason
super
why
weird.
we're all confused.
You know, fair. All right.
Probably because you're running Linux.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why that would affect
I mean,
the online
That
profile.
was a thing. That was a thing way back when I was still running in Windows. It just seems to be something as I input it that just went in wrong or something like that. I have no idea what it is, and nobody else can figure it out either.
Roll20 saw you log in and was like, "Fuck this guy in particular."
This bitch.
Basically.
Zero's in the void. Hello and welcome in, Mima. All right, let me do my welcomes here real quick. Welcome in, Ash. Welcome in, Ray. Did anyone get fur? Oh, Ash got furs. Good job, Ash. Very, very nice. I always have to go all the way up to look at. But welcome in, Pocket. Welcome in, Mima. Welcome in everyone who is here. I appreciate all of y'all being here. Let me do my intro real quick as well for anyone who is new to this series. Greetings, dear spirits, and welcome to the Tables of Tartarus, a division of Purgatory Corner where fate is bound by dice and stories are carved into eternity. I'm your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we're going to be continuing the tale of Tyrant's Wrath. Take your seats at the table and let the threads of destiny unravel before you. Every story belongs somewhere, and here your next chapter begins. Rue has unfortunately had to bounce from the campaign due to personal reasons for the most part. Nothing bad, of course, but she is not going to be continuing the campaign with us. We will very likely be adding in Pocket in probably a month. I want to say something of those along those lines. Depends on a few factors, and of course her work schedule and various other schedules. But and Dakota is a little bit late today. They are having some physical issues, so they might not be joining, but I'm not 100% sure. They got up and were heading downstairs, so I don't know where they are at the moment. But if they don't join, that'd be why. If they do join, we'll see them here in a little bit. But welcome in, ladies and gents. I'm trying to remember what. Oh yeah, last episode was you guys fleeing from Everon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, weird, Cyril. Your icon isn't even flashing. It's just really wanting to fight you now, apparently.
It's okay. Cyril can be a cryptid in the void.
Yeah, you know, there you go. You get to embrace your cryptid nature, Cyril. He's just don't exist there, so don't worry, guys. But yes, you guys ran away from Everon, and his brother, as he made it pretty much 100% clear, that he was going to effectively go and try killing Dakota, without any sense of mercy. Dakota being very likely the person who had fled from the Elven Citadel some long while ago. About a year and some months previous. I think year and a half, maybe. Obviously, the rest of your team did not want this to happen. But Dakota, Sapphire, and Cyril went to the area that the mother and father had come out of. They discovered that it was a ritual room of sorts. And it appears like the ritual had failed. Most likely due to you guys preventing the crystal from getting hyper-infected by shadows and darkness. Also, if I sound dead, it's because there's mucus in my throat, and it's very annoying.
Me too.
But my voice is drastically lower, so I know some folks like that. But you guys headed into that ritual room, saw a bunch of dead Yuan-Ti on the ground, and more or less were like, well, this is fucking weird. Saw the mirror on the wall that depicted a hypermassive dragon pretty much reaching through realities to attack people. And then from there, you guys left that ritual room with Dakota having his patron physically severed from him by another patron called the Dealer. Who seems to be someone who is just generally joyous and mischievous, and did it because she wanted to fuck with the knight for whatever reasons she may have had. So now his patron has changed. He still has all of his original abilities. She also thought it would be funny to spite the knight by doing so. My damn string keeps skipping. Oh no. But she found it really funny to fuck with the knight by A, removing him, and B, letting Dakota keep all of his stuff. So you guys, they walked out. Ania grabbed Gelmar and Rue, brought them into the main tunnel area. Basically told you guys, yeah, we're all kind of fucked. Let's go ahead and teleport, because this would be really bad to encounter them. The tree, wanting to give back to you guys, as you guys had done a whole lot for the tree, opened a pathway into some other room, just a small crack in the wall. You guys went through it, the crack sealed up behind you, and as you guys headed out into wherever this other room was, you guys discovered that it was a massive tunnel system. Absolutely gigantic. It was clearly made by the dwarves based on the dwarven symbols all around. The ground was smooth as stone, as like forged stone. There was not a bump in sight. It was a weirdly designed area and seemed to have been tied to some of the ley lines as well, as magic was quite literally flowing through the area almost like a heartbeat. Heat was also flowing through along with some kind of coolant, so it was a constant shift of temperatures. Not a gigantic one, but a very noticeable one. No worries, Ray. Have fun. And so you guys decided to head up a little bit further. Took you guys a couple of miles further up. And you guys eventually ended up finding a small room. You guys entered the small room that wasn't decrepit, broken, and all that other fun stuff. Saw a stairwell, headed up the stairwell, had to break the very top of it as it was barricaded, and up inside of a small shack, around where you guys had actually landed earlier as well, which was less than a day away. And you guys took some, well, much needed rest. Dakota went to go and talk to his patron. Cyril fell asleep where he was. And Gelmar, Rue talked to each other. Sapphire went out to hunt. And so everything had passed. And then as everyone had started to filter back in, Ania turned into Tra, a high elf, more or less high elf variation of her, which I believe you called the angry one, if I recall correctly.
Shorthand is the angry one.
Is the very angry one. He proved it several times, but seems to be a well-rounded enough fellow. You guys interacted with one another, said all kinds of stuff you guys can look at previous videos for, and eventually you all decided to head to sleep. As the sun broke over the mountains and the room filled up with light, and Cyril had awoken, he saw Tra and immediately went into PTSD flare fight and tried to kill Tra, holding him up by his face several feet above the ground before tensions finally calmed, Tra almost having, guiding bolted Cyril in the chest frame, but ended up not. You guys kind of relaxed a little bit, had your apologies. Whatever tenseness might be laying over will probably continue. But it should be interesting. And then that's the end of my memory. I don't remember if y'all did anything after.
We talked a bit. I know Gelmar had some stuff planned.
I should add that Gelmar did also reveal the fact that he's a dragon to Cyril. But yes, aside from that, after he came back in, after calming down, kind of, he made the comment that he was about to head on out to pay his respects to the people that they had taken out the previous few days.
Right.
And asked if anyone wanted to join them. He offered them sigil to the Grandmaster of Flowers, aka Bahamut. But they mostly wanted to set up a sigil dedicated to something more personal to them. So he crafted that, and I think he was just about to head outside to begin his own practice. No, I wouldn't. It's not. It's in a stretch to call it a ritual and a practice, but to go home and do his usual routine, I suppose is the best way to phrase it. And that's about the extent of my knowledge from there.
Okay. Now, you guys following Gelmar to do this, or?
Tra has a message to send. Tra would ask for someone's sending stone.
Okay.
Whoever has a free one. Because I think Tra/Ania gave theirs to Cyril, because Cyril gave his to the JoJo's.
Yeah, Cyril used 3 of them, so you guys should have 1 left over.
Well, Cyril used 3 last night, right?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so you should have all 4.
No, I used them this morning.
Oh, did you? Oh, because you were sleeping the other day. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we should have 2. Because there were 6, because we had 6.
Yeah, you're right.
And I gave 1 away.
Yeah.
I thought she already ran out to run to do her messages.
She would have left
she already had the 2 for it. I knew she already had 2 for that.
I did 1 last night before I slept, but I didn't want to do the other one because I wanted to make sure we had a sending stone in case of emergency.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
So I guess I can just use that one again now that it's refreshed?
Yes.
Okay. So Tra's gonna sit it out, and Tra is sending a message to Roderick.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And also, before I send that one, I did show you the first message, right? The one to the ambassador.
I believe so, but I don't recall. Do you have any of your notes, or did you send it?
Yeah, I have them fully in my notes.
Okay, yeah.
I believe it loosely translated to "the job is finished," but I do not think that our wards are particularly fond of us.
Well, I have the full message, word for word.
Okay.
So, the one Ania sent last night to the ambassador was, "Tree is safe. Saved Kieran and Eberron. They do not like us. Some sort of ritual stopped it. Tree saved us from Eberron. Leaving Tree."
Did you mark down what I replied with?
I don't think you did. I posted it in the Discord. I can find it really easily. I just need to search with Eberron. Let me see.
Yeah.
Eberron.
Because I don't recall if I replied verbally, if I replied text-wise. Because her reply would be semi-important.
You never replied via text.
Okay.
And I can send you the actual words. Let me send
Yeah,
those to
no
you.
worries. Because yeah, her reply would be semi-important. So if I did reply in a previous stream, don't worry about it. I'm gonna overwrite it basically here. Should effectively bowl, yeah. So I would say Tree is safe, save Kieran, and they do not like us some sort of ritual stop us. Tree saved us. Emerald, like Tree. She would reply with hold on. Trying to get the phrasing down. She has such a very distinct type of way of talking that is really difficult for me to do it. So she would reply with I am glad they are safe. High Elven struggles with courtesies. Ritual is strange. We'll look more into that. Be on your way.
Okay, cool. And that'd be it?
Yeah, that'd be it.
All right. And then the message she's sending, or Ania, because it's going to be in Ania's voice, the one that Ania's sending to Roderick is going to be, this is going to be funny. Whimsical patron level entity, take an interest in vampire. Be wary of potential shenanigans, good or bad. Received book. Doing well. Stopping more Yanti rituals. And I'll post that for you.
His reply is going to be, concern. I hope he doesn't fight. We'll be wary. We'll protect town. Did receive. Doing okay. Glad Yanti efforts are being thwarted.
Hey. And that's most of what Tra's doing. While everyone's out, Tra's probably going to switch back to Ania.
Okay.
When no one's looking. Because I think, did Cyril leave too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
After Dakota's description of their treatment at the hands of the High Elves, I mean, it was...
Oh, yeah. Cyril had to go take a walk.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, Tra would switch back to Ania while everyone's gone and just, like, hold the base. Hold the fort down.
Will do. Let's see. There we go.
And it was during that walk that I decided to cause an international incident.
Pulls
Going
out
on a
shotgun.
walk.
I'm just taking a walk.
I mean, I guess given his general distaste for the elves, it does kind of make sense, though.
Yeah. So while Cyril's taking a walk to cool his jets, Gelmar, Dakota, and Sapphire would all be outside, performing the air quote ritual, for lack of a better word. Is kind of a memorial of sorts to all that they have laid to rest, shall we say, in the last. How long have you guys been walking? Like a month, I think. A month and a couple weeks.
I think we've been away haven't we been away from the Harmonious Haven for like 2 or 3 months by now?
I don't think it's been that long. Not 3.
Yeah. It has been the ending notes.
Also, I very much appreciate that somebody drew a rainbow over Harmonious Haven and colored in the letters.
Yeah, I think
see.
that was
Where is it? Oh my
Reverie.
god.
that was either Revy or that was Bunny. I don't recall which. But you guys
Either way, I love it.
you guys left Harmonious Haven on the 19th of Monarch, so last month. Each month is only 30 days. You guys are currently on, I believe, day 8 of autumn. So little under a month since you guys started walking / piloting boats / going the distance.
Fair enough.
Yep. But you guys do ritual. It's a fairly commonplace one. I'm certain that, Sapphire and Dakota and Galmar, you all three of you have probably seen something similar done every now and again.
I mean, they've definitely seen Gelmar doing that. He does that like every time they get out of a fight, or every day after a fight.
Yeah, it's more or less just paying your respects to those who have fallen. Be those.
I think Gelmar had something specific planned.
That was basically it. I can't really say it's solidified strongly enough in my head to really talk much in detail about it, though. Unfortunately.
Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
I'm
more
sorry,
or less.
I am a very slow thinker.
You are more than fine. But it's more or less just paying your dues to those who've fallen, friends or foes. Either one, they fell mostly to your guys' blades, but also to some of your magics. And so it's just giving respects to all those. It takes probably half an hour, I would say, just kind of like letting things flow, taking moments of silence, or doing your runes or whatever it is that you're doing. It just takes a little bit, but after that point, is what is. Unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we'll move forwards a couple hours. Where Cyril will be coming back, Rue will be coming back, and you guys more or less will be meeting up in the house itself.
Would I be able to make 2 more healing potions in that time?
Yes.
Cool, okay, I'll just make a couple healing potions.
No worries. Giving you a little bit of downtime there. But yeah, so a couple hours pass while Nia is doing her potion crafting. Sapphire, you're probably, I would say, setting up some of your jerky to dry and stuff. The meat that you've gathered from the small animals and things you harvested last night. And yeah, so Cyril comes back. Dakota is in the room, kind of in the corner. Whenever they pop up, or next episode, I'll have them do this portion themselves. We'll need to be reminded of that, so Annie, if you could jot down a reminder for that.
What's reminder?
I'm going to have Dakota do their scene either when they come back later on this episode, if they do, or the next time we do a session.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I will 100% forget that, so. But yeah, so everyone it pops in the room. Dakota's over in the corner. They're going to do their cool cowboy theme over in the corner. But the rest of you guys get into the building. Cyril, you've cooled down a little bit. Haven't started international problem just yet, but certainly on your mind. But Rue comes back to the building, and she has how do you say, a somber look to her. But she also has it's very determined look. And she more or less states that her god has called her for another mission. Something that she has to do alone, something, very high priority, but it's to help fix her memory in some way, shape, or form. So she's going to be leaving, unfortunately. And this path is one that she has to take alone. Her party cannot follow her where she is going. Which is, she says, very sad, but is what is best for her. So she must go and do it. She is certain she will complete it, though. So no worries on whether or not she'll survive. As she says this, what would be your guys' kind of response to it? Obviously, it's not a call and response that she's not here. But what would be, kind of how your character feels about this, how you're interacting with it, how you're dealing with it. We will start with Sapphire. Stray music. I love that.
Sapphire. There she is.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I was watching Mary Poppins. We're going over how we feel about Rue, is that right?
Yeah, so like how your character feels
about
Rue leaving, kind of what she would say in response to her having to leave, that kind of thing.
Okay. I never thought about what to say. I just know sadness.
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't
but
have
I
to
probably would say I'll miss you.
Oh, that's very sweet. Okay.
And to be safe.
And to be safe. That's very good. Gelmar.
Definitely a fair bit of shock in the general response, and definitely a fair bit of sadness at the prospect that she's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But before he allows her to leave the room, he is going to give her a hug and whisper to her, "We might not have been siblings by blood, but I'll take comfort in knowing that I do still have a sister out there somewhere. Whatever you do, I know you'll do great."
That's so goddamn sweet. That's so goddamn sweet. That's so cute. I love that. Cyril, my man.
I'm gonna come up to her and tell her that I wish that I could have helped her out with this. And that I feel as if I guess, failed to be the person that she's always had the high hopes that I was. But, and I'm gonna take my poncho off, and I know it's gonna be super oversized. I'm gonna give her my poncho. Telling her I know it's a little old and torn and patched, but it's always kept me warm and safe from the elements.
Super cute. I would say she would probably take off her necklace and give it to you in response. The magical one that she had. Which I don't 100% recall the properties of, but I'll find it after the session.
I think I have it written down. The locket?
Yeah, the locket.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. But yeah, so she'd be taking off the locket and handing it to you essentially. Very happy that you've given her the poncho. And she would probably say something to the tone of comforting you. More or less like, oh, you were exactly the person that I needed. Something along those lines.
I'm just gonna give her a big hug and try not to cry.
Oh, Ania.
Ania would definitely not be first.
Mm-hmm.
She'd look a little bit like conflicted and wait for a few of the others to go. And you don't have to switch any portraits for this, but Ania will actually step forward and shift into Eplith, so her actual changeling form.
Mm.
And Eplith will sort of avoid eye contact, be very like shy and somber when talking, and would say something along the lines of, I don't know the exact wording, but it would generally be along the lines of that they're sorry if they ever gave Rue a bad impression, and that they actually really, really admired her. Because they think the attitude Rue has always had with everything, really the happiness, the positivity, the optimisticness, is something they wish they had more for themselves.
That's super sweet.
And Eplith would actually start crying, like not like bad, just like the silent tears, and then they would like back up. No hugs. Unless like Rue would like grab Eplith into a hug, which could happen, but either way, they would not initiate.
Okay. I would say, given her general character, I would probably say she would try to hug you. Probably a very, very quick hug, because she knows that you wouldn't be super comfortable with it. Probably a very quick hug. Eplith would
accept it regardless.
Okay.
Eplith would not stay as Eplith for long afterwards. They would just sort of like go to a corner and switch back to Ania and suddenly no longer crying.
Instant
little bit
switch.
Spooky, but yeah.
Okay. But yes, so, and then eventually Dakota will say whatever Dakota is going to say, which we'll get to either later this episode or in a couple of weeks, just depending on which one comes first. And then Rue essentially starts taking her leave. She turns around, it is next day, a couple hours later, so probably high noon to like 2 p.m., something along those lines. I think it's day 8. It's either day 8 or day 9. Well, we're gonna go with day 8. But she just starts making her leave. And yeah, you guys watch as she literally walks into the tree line and just disappears. Okay. Is there anything you guys would like to say to one another?
It's going to be a long time before I'm used to being without her.
I would offer to help you with your morning jogs, but you know I'm not very good at waking up in the morning.
It is a shame, but still, I appreciate the gesture.
And if Dakota was here, Ania would be like,
maybe Dakota could do it. Dakota needs more exercise.
Slowly looks at Dakota.
I suppose I haven't quite done it yet today, if anyone's in the mood.
No.
Head tilt towards her. It's good for you. You'll thank her body will thank you for it later.
No, it will definitely not.
He's giving her a teasing smile as he's giving this statement, by the way.
Mhm.
So putting the locket on, and I'm gonna turn to Gelmar. I will join you in your morning exercises.
That would be lovely, Ethan. Think we have enough time before we have to head out, or should we begin planning immediately?
I think we have spent enough time away from where we need to be. It is time. And that the I remember last session Gelmar had pulled out the that
The
entire
black armor.
Yeah. Is that still on the floor?
I think that was in the bag of holding, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay, so I don't like see it on the floor splayed out.
I mean, you can still ask about it.
It was
It
the bag
definitely-
of holding, but I remember Gilmar took it out for some reason.
I remember I was about to offer to somebody, but also
Appreciate
being
the
a little
hydration.
hesitant because we were 98% certain that it was cursed. Just simply because we know that it does not identify curses.
Oh, we were identifying it, so yeah, it would probably have gone back in the bag.
Ray has requested that we all drink water or some form of hydration.
Well, I'm afraid I've already drained the can that was sitting next to me.
I got some water.
I have root beer.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
I think I am going to ask about the armor.
Okay.
Because I think I saw him put it in the bag.
You did, yes.
I mean, if nothing else, you definitely saw how Gelmar trying to peel it off of the father, so...
Oh, also there's another part to the locket description that I did not put. There we go. That's just for Cyril. It's about the picture in the locket.
Ah, okay.
I do have also the stuff written down about the armor.
And then I've increased your wisdom zero as well.
Hang on.
Hmm?
No, I did that. I had done that already.
Oh, you had? Okay.
So, yeah. So I'll just put that.
Yeah. I appreciate you letting me know. Okay. But yes, you would see. I would say the armor would be splayed out on the ground.
No.
Because you guys were checking it a little while ago, if I recall correctly. So unless you guys want to put it back, but given the nature of the armor, I assume like probably Gelmar would want to tinker with some of it or see some of its other qualities, or other aspects of it. So.
I mean, Gelmar's probably debating how he could tell if the thing is cursed without having to put it on.
Yeah. So I would say it would probably be on the ground at the moment, or against a wall, or something of that sort.
Okay. So looking over at the laid out body of armor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that survived.
That's because it's magic. Well, actually, kind of, sort of anti-magic.
I swear, I literally broke that thing down to scraps and it just snapped all back together once it was thrown into a pile.
I have this.
So looking over at Ania, you said anti-magic?
And I have the stuff written down about it, so I assume that Rue found that out with the detect spell before?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ania will chirp in and be like,
it has warding against magic. I think it's like anti-mage armor. It didn't help against the fireball, but I think the suit's okay. Just whatever was inside got a little bit crispy.
Oh, metal does tend to heat up there fairly quickly. Or no, above game I have no idea. What am I doing? Heating has always been a risk for armors like these, so that's why most of them are made with inner lining. At least most of the ones back home we made were.
Gonna pick up the helmet and just kind of hold it in my hand,
Okay.
like Hamlet style.
It is a rather large helmet. Definitely not made for a regular individual. Based on what you saw of the father, he was a big guy, like 15 feet
Right.
tall and such. So this helmet is like almost comically large in your hands. Even in your hands, it looks fairly normal. In anyone else's hands, it's comically huge.
Mm.
I'd be careful with that. I wouldn't be surprised to find out it's cursed.
I think it would be difficult to curse something that's anti-magic.
I see your point, but still feels a little off to me for reasons I can't quite put my claws on.
How do you find... Actually, can I roll? Do I know how to tell if something is cursed? If Detect Magic can't tell?
I think the only ways to find out if something is cursed is obviously being cursed by it. But
let me check. I wouldn't be
There's a
surprised if
specific spell for detecting curses.
I feel
I
like
know there's
there
one for removing curses.
Yeah. I feel like there is one for finding the curses, but I don't quite recall what it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if it falls under Arcana checks, but let me double check.
Can't Dakota detect curses or something like that? Just as like an ability?
Let's see. Dakota features. They can read any writing on the planet, but they cannot detect whether or not something is cursed, it looks like.
Okay.
Inflict wounds.
Anti-magic, you said.
Anti-magic. Anti-magic magic.
Will it prevent me from using my own spells?
I don't think so. It like
Did you see-
has. I think of it like a coating.
Did the father do anything unusual while he was fighting you?
Other than hit like a ton of bricks?
Hard to say then.
There was this... There was this moment, and thankfully, Ania... something... Some creature had come up behind me and fixed it. I was brought back to that day in the woods.
I noticed you were acting a bit odd, so I had summoned some fae in order to help with me with all the healing that was needed. But those fae in particular also had the ability to calm emotions. So you don't usually freeze like that.
I was miles away at that point. I wasn't even seeing him. Thank you.
Of course. It was just coincidence they were able to do that.
I was petrified. I was right back to that day.
A few of the others were also frozen, so it wasn't just you.
I feel like whatever we're facing, as cursed as this might be worth it.
To answer your question, the only way to detect a curse is by using remove curse, and that's only if you do it at a level higher than the curse, whatever that curse's level may be. And it will
God,
break the
that's
curse, and you'll know it's cursed.
Dark.
I'll have to
I
find an
think I hit it.
anti-curse specialist.
What was that, sir?
I think I hit it. I'm not sure.
If you break the curse, you know for a fact that you have broken the curse. If you use curse, remove curse, and you don't break it, so you do it like 3rd level, but it's a 4th level curse, it doesn't do anything basically. So it's a
right. So you don't know if you don't know if it wasn't cursed or if you didn't cast remove curse at a high enough.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you have to cast it at a high enough level to break it in order to know that it is cursed before you attune to it.
Got it.
Jesus Christ.
Curses are rough in this game. I love it.
You know what?
If it
Go ahead.
if it is cursed, do you think you would have to wear only one piece or the whole set?
No. I'm gonna remove my helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it to the side.
Okay.
If it's as magical as you say, it should change shape to fit me. Because as big as it is, like it wouldn't fit me regularly just by putting it on. It would rattle around and be just awful to wear.
It would
Oh.
not fit over your antlers if it was a regular helmet. No.
Right.
But the actual size of it would be semi-comparable to yours.
So yeah, I'm gonna start bringing it up to my head, and I'm gonna see if it changes shape to allow it to put on my to put itself on my head.
Yeah, as you lift it more or less above your head and slowly start like descending it to see if it moves, it does. You can hear the metal shifting as you're moving it down. It shrinks ever so slightly to just give a better fit for your head. You also can hear holes being created in the top of the helmet.
This is in my time. This would have been a holy relic.
Doesn't look very holy.
Um,
It depends on what deity you worship.
That's true. Even reportedly, I don't want to say that word, but even darker deities are still considered holy. I think.
I mean, there's good aligned deities that cover a very unnerving above game. I am blanking on the last word. Domains. At least so far as I've heard. Not familiar with many.
I'm gonna start putting the entire suit of armor.
Okay.
One piece at a time. I'm kind of trying to test to see if like I start hearing voices, seeing things.
I already got that covered.
yeah. At the moment, Sapphire, you could just see Bill like sitting on your shoulder, just like, ooh. I wonder if he kills him.
I swear to God, if I start seeing the same
Bill.
person, if I start seeing Bill swimming across my vision,
Alright, hold on just one moment.
Uh-oh. Oh, so here is what I wrote down for chest plate.
I appreciate it.
Boss battle.
Boss battle! I wrote down boss battle!
Boss battle!
There you go.
Okay. Let me look at real quick. Do. Yes. Do really love how I statted that, by the by.
You're welcome.
Okay. So you at the moment don't feel anything from the helmet. Doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot to you. The armor, on the other hand, let me see.
Chest plate, I assume.
Yes, I would say, yeah, from the chest plate, you do feel, your, I suppose, lay on hands or other radiant features you have feel a little bit off for whatever reason. You also feel, as you're continuing to put on all the armor, you start putting on more and more of the armor and stuff. The helmets you don't feel a whole lot from because you're not doing anything at the moment. The chest plate would make it, or sorry, your hands, the gauntlets, would make it so your divine energy seems to be off, I suppose. And then I would say with the rest of your armor being put on, you really have to put on all of it. But then you feel disconnected from a lot of other things. It really feels like spells probably won't work on you very well.
Oh, but like I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel a different kind of disconnect myself too.
Mentally speaking, I would say no. The way that you feel at the moment, you're fully within your own mind. You're fully, obviously sentient. You're fully able to think. None of your mental faculties seem to have been affected all too much at the moment. But you can feel quietness, an unnerving quietness around you. You're very nature in tuned. You're also very divine in tune. So both those magics often flow through you, and you can feel connection to them quite distinctly. While you're wearing the full armor, you don't feel that connection very strongly. You really have to buckle down and focus on that feeling in order to be able to tell that the magic is there. It seems to be very effectively blocking some magics. How that will work for healing magic, spell magic, other magics like that, you have no idea. But it does seem to very effectively work against most types of magic, at least from what you can feel from raw magic flowing through the air.
It seems like you may be able to adjust it if you just remove the gloves or not.
Actually, on that note, how do you feel? Just in character. Or I'm trying to move toward organically.
It's a strange feeling.
Are you feeling uncyril?
I suppose that's the best way to put it. There's It's a disquieting. Quiet.
You think it's a curse?
You get your gauntlet off.
I am going to try and pull the gauntlet off.
All right. As you try to pull the gauntlet off, you get the gauntlet all the way off, and then you feel it quite literally like pull back towards the metal on your bicep, basically. So it slides right back on. They can be disconnected, and you did feel the magic somewhat returning to your hands, but as it does so, the gauntlet pulls back towards itself, as Gelmar had seen before when it was on its own, and so it quite literally like reattaches to itself. It seems like the armor actively tries to be one cohesive piece, with the exception of the helmet.
So, is it possible to get that off without...
It does take a few moments for it to even start trying to pull back, so you could pull everything off with slight difficulty, but you could certainly do it with enough effort.
Well,
Or just get someone else to do it.
Oh yeah, you
well,
also
at least
yeah.
that tells me it's... Well, at least that tells me it's probably not cursed, whatever that's worth.
As protected as I feel, though, I don't like this feeling. It's like a mouthful of copper. After seeing it try and snap itself back into place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at the rest. I'm gonna look at everybody. I regret having to ask this, but I think I bit off more than I could chew.
You're the one trying to wear potentially cursed things.
I'm already cursed. I figure.
Yamar shakes his head with a small smile. Here, let me help you, he says, standing up.
Please.
Now, I will say...
Sapphir's not going to get the joke and say, why are you trying to eat it anyway?
I figure if anybody was going to get extra cursed, it should be me.
Extra cursed.
Yeah, I've heard of some pretty hefty curses on equipment in the past. 100% certain I would have done that without at least a cleric in the room.
I will say one thing.
Starting to undo some of the clamps on the pauldrons.
Yeah, one thing that Cyril would definitely recognize, that he would, in my opinion, absolutely mention to Gelmar. It is a very, very effective way of removing outside magic. So, in theory, that would potentially apply to his restraints, assuming that it works the way that it kind of feels like. You're not 100% sure or how well they would affect his restraints, but is seeming to be extremely effective at anti-magical protocols, specifically from the outside of the person.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that.
But that would also toy with my runes, which is also...
No, because your runes are a separate magic that you cast.
Yeah, they're an external magic.
But they are not with...
But it's rarely something you're casting on yourself, isn't it?
Most of them, I suppose you're right, but some of the... like the brown rune that I use for my Giant's Might is technically a rune I use on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to like stuff it inside the armor. But yeah, I'm gonna mention that.
I mean, I'm willing to try it if you think that would be an opportunity to try and get the restraints off, but last I heard, that's probably not going to... We'd probably be best off to track down the people who put them on.
Worst comes to worst, we have to rip it off of you. You take all of this back to Boren and you melt it down.
No, I hate it.
I suspect it's going to take a bit more than just heat to degrade magic equipment.
If anyone knows how.
Fair point, he
Really
said.
boring.
In that case, is this something we want to try right now, or should we save that for a little later?
That's up to you.
Hmm.
Do you want to wait until you're around Borin to try it on?
A strong part of me wants to say yes, but not necessarily because I suspect it's cursed. Seems likely to assume that it's not. Part of me, he just wonders if it's better to wait for that till at the very least we have a better opportunity. Above game, I am blanking. My head just went blank.
It's okay.
I'd like to try it sooner or later to be used as an alternative to getting the restraints off, but I suspect that that's something we should be waiting until sometime in the evening when we're already winding down for the night.
Rather than
Okay.
before we go into a potentially dangerous situation.
Agreed.
Ania's going to hold out her bag of holding for stuff to be dropped into it.
Yes, please. I was not there. I was not looking forward to carrying this all day. He says, slowly sliding it into the bag, or carefully putting it into the bag.
Okay. They go into the bag fairly easily.
That was. Ooh.
We really need to stock up on some. If we do end up going to the peaks, maybe you two can get new armor.
I mean, if you find a forge anywhere between here and there, we do have several knives. He said, as giving another nod to Sapphire for helping find it. We do have a fair bit of metal that we might be able to use to get started on that.
Well, I think Glimmering Meadows might have a forge. And from the sounds of it, need quite a bit of saving.
Seems a good opportunity to me. I've already got my tools on me. In more ways than one.
I can appreciate that. All right. Are we ready?
Well,
Unless there's anything else we need to do in this area, he says, dusting off his pants and standing up again.
the last time we used the device, the teleport didn't go very well. We were teleporting to a place we'd never been to before, though. Now that we have sort of an idea of where we're going, it might work out better. Where do we want to go?
Perhaps the watchtower that we examined?
That was falling apart.
True, but it is a ruined location that we're unlikely to be dropped in front of anybody.
We don't want to end up right in town. It's going to be a little bit awkward. We could try to go outside of town, but we don't know how it really looks from the outside. How far was the watchtower from town?
Above game, I think it was like half an hour.
Yeah. About 45 minutes to an hour and 15. Somewhere around that, depending on how fast you were.
All right. Let's go to the watchtower then.
I think I'm ready. I have all my spells adjusted. Sapphire, you all ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
All right. And since we've all been there, we can all focus on it and imagine the watchtower. Try to focus on outside of it, like in the front door or outside the front door. Gate.
Of course.
All right. Feel free to, any one of you, feel free to roll a 1d100.
Any one of us, or can we all do it, or?
I'm on it right now.
Yeah, just one of you.
Goody.
Oh my.
Oh.
That'll work. All right. You guys feel the spell, the rune, the tablet that you guys have. You're all touching it, trying to focus and stuff, and you feel it start to shift. Now, the last time that you guys used this, it shifted. You guys felt okay for a second, and then your entire existences wanted to die. Very much so. It was a very exceedingly unpleasant experience. Pretty much the entire way through, especially being above the ground and then being slammed into a Mach 5. This one is a much gentler experience. It's much, much nicer. It's very, very soft, very, very simple. As the world kind of shifts around you, you can see weird flying colors that move and change. From the blue of the water, the green of the trees, the gentle fields of grass that you guys are just seeing around you flowing past like a gentle river. It takes
the red
you
and orange rainbow over Harmonious Haven. The red and orange rainbow over Harmonious Haven.
a gentle rainbow in the sky. But it takes, you don't know how long, but it takes just a little bit before you are suddenly just in front of the tower. You guys can see it's pretty banged up. It did collapse last time you were here due to the ogre and the general necromancer stuff. But you are now directly in front of the gate, the rune arch that you guys were at a long time ago.
Oh, that was much better.
I think we're getting the hang of it.
It was a very pleasant time. You got your guys' stomachs don't even feel bad. All right.
Oh. All right. And Ania will give. Can I do a quick perception check on the watchtower to see if anything looks different?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yay, perception check.
Look with your special eyes.
It would be perception or investigation?
Perception. You're just looking around.
Okay. Right.
Dirty 20. Looking around, not much seems to have changed. So it looks like everything has settled. The last time you were here, obviously, like most of it collapsed. And you're definitely seeing that inside of this archway. Whether, tall pieces or big aspects of it have pretty much just folded in on itself. So there is a shit ton of rubble just laying across the area. There's a couple of smaller ruins that are like leading towards like the walls and stuff, which are somewhat still up, but definitely wear and tear. The rainstorm that happened afterwards, none of it did this place any real good.
Well, nothing out here looks too bad. That's good. I guess we can figure out our plan of action as we walk.
Yes.
On that note, hey Cyril, he says, holding out a lavender-colored rune. I suspect you'll probably be the most knowledgeable about what we'll be getting into. This should help keep focused a little bit better.
What does it do again?
Let me post it. You will be able to use the passive effect of this thing. Specifically the top paragraph.
This should come in very handy.
It's a strong one. One of my new favorites, in fact. Keep it close, and it will guide, and it will protect us.
I fear what we might have to do if we're too late, though.
Happy thoughts, my friend. Hopefully, we
If
won't
we
have to come
are-
to that.
If we are too late, then we would have never made it in time without the teleportation, so it's not like we were given it when you were given the quest. So I don't want you to feel like you weren't fast enough. This is exceptionally fast.
No, you're right. You're right. Right.
You gave up, and Ania's just going to start walking, and she's talking. She's like, you gave up parts of yourself in order to even access that.
It was worth it, though.
Well,
And I
we'll
think-
see. I'm just...
I hope we can barter for that back later.
I actually do plan to try bartering later. I don't like the offer I gave. It
Mhm.
hasn't affected me yet, but ever since we were at the tree, I feel guilty. Like I've betrayed, I guess, my druidness a bit. I don't feel like my mother would be very proud of me for what I did or offered.
Well, I suppose we'll have to have that discussion. Still, I'd imagine she'd want something in return that's just as valuable to us. On the other hand,
Oh,
I do
yes.
have an idea. That's probably going to be for later.
Speaking of ideas, I suppose we should go to the sheriff first.
Well, what does your paper say again?
Fish around and pull it out. I think it only told me what I had to do and how fast I had to do it, right?
The paper for the Parasite.
Yeah.
That didn't have a deadline on it. But it did tell you, that you need to kill it is on your list. Defeat it in some way, shape, or form. The details of the creature are fairly unknown, but what you guys did see specifically, I think it was either Sapphire or Nia, or both. You guys would have seen that said that it's a parasite that burrows into people's skin, and leaves small pink blotches, which are one of the only ways to identify that the creature is in the skin. Any other details about the creature are completely unknown, and it's more or less saying, go do it. You can figure it out.
I guess
Actually,
Go ahead.
we should seek out Alice, shouldn't we?
I
Uh,
did see her scratching her arm before we left. I didn't mention it because, it could have been anything, but
above game, do we know that Cyril sent the message to the sheriff preemptively a few weeks ago?
I think so. I
Or
think we
about a
talked
week
about
ago?
it.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that right out in the open.
Did he ever send you a response to the message?
I do remember he did. He was just very confused, like, all right, I guess, basically. I
I
guess
guess I
I'll
could have phrased
look.
that better. Did he send you ever send you a follow-up message?
Oh, I see.
I doubt he. I doubt he had the. I doubt he has the spells to do it.
the means.
Right.
We desperately need to find a way to get sending stones to at least the members of importance of the civilizations. These things are invaluable for long-range communication, it seems.
Or maybe something from Technopolis, some kind of letter that mails itself.
Hard to say. I suppose we'll have to. I suppose we'll have to figure that one out in post. I suspect that they're probably not going to be the most. not happy to receive anything from adventurers given the previous reception they gave us.
What do you think? Alice? And check up on her, or
Well, she
Sure.
definitely
and
she
check
definitely
up on
seemed the
me?
friend. She definitely seemed the friendliest face, but we probably should present ourselves to the sheriff so he at least knows that we're here first.
I personally think there's not going to be much. I think once we arrive, we'll probably have to. We'll have a better idea.
Okay.
So, whichever one of those seems better at the time, I suppose. Did you tell the sheriff to look at Alice specifically?
I told him to check in on her to see if she was acting strange at all.
No, if she was, the sheriff either would have taken her to a sick house or to jail. He didn't have a very big jail, I don't think.
No,
People
we didn't have a very
jail.
big.
People jail other people for assumptions.
If she was
Why?
acting weird, not to arrest her, just to restrain her.
Still sounds a bit extreme, unless it really seemed that bad, though.
If it
He
seemed that
also-
Won't know
bad,
for certain until we get there.
He also banned one young man from coming into town because he was far too attractive. So
I'm sorry, what?
oh, you didn't
Just
hear
getting
about
a little
that.
confused, Crosshair. How's that look?
yes. You when you meet Joran, you will understand.
He gives a confused head tilt. All right.
Right, I guess the sheriff first.
Cool.
See how many brain cells he has left.
All right, we're gonna move you guys to Gleaming Meadows. So, as you guys walk in, oh, just a moment, I have this written down so I can play around with it. You guys walk to Gleaming Meadows, and of course, the road there is rather hilly, as you guys are fairly used to. But eventually, you guys crest the final hill, and you guys see the town itself. As you guys remember from last time that you were here, it's not a particularly large town, but there is a large amount of farming land around it, which is where a lot of people spend their time. Those inside the town usually spend their time with the horses, they spend time doing the tavern, or they interact with the sheriff, or just general homes to sleep in. It is, at least last time you were here, exceedingly peaceful. It's a very, very peaceful town. And that's kind of what you guys expected when you guys came in here. As you guys crest the hill, you guys do feel that sense of peace. And each of the homes that you guys are seeing, each of the houses that you're seeing, you guys can see a fairly large amount of flowering ivy crawling over the rooftops. Normally, across these rooftops are like general, leaves or stuff like that, especially since it's autumn now. But these vines, these ivy crawling over it, they have a significant quantity of flowers on it, almost making each house look decorative. There are wind chimes that slowly clink in the breeze, and rows of sunflowers that are just covering most the grass around you. And they're swaying gently in the midday light. But something feels distinctly wrong to each and every single one of you. The stillness of this town, the quiet of the town. It just feels wrong. As you guys continue moving forwards, last time you were here, everyone...
Was the ivy there last time on these houses?
A very small amount of it, mostly covered by leaves, but definitely not this
Also,
much.
I did bless the fields last time I was here. How are they looking?
The fields that you have walked by that you can see, they look fantastic.
Nice.
Especially one that you did your ritual in. You can see in the distance is 100% looking like immensely better than it did before. But you do see that those rows of sunflowers just popping up every which way that you can see. They're just crawling all over the place, not touching the farmland, weirdly enough, but all on the roads, everywhere there's a patch of grass has at least like 10 or 20 sunflowers. It's just constant. But yes, last time you guys were here, everyone shut their doors and the windows pretty much immediately. It was a very distinct response to adventurers that have come into their town. As you guys walk in here, you guys don't get that same reaction. You see townsfolk standing in their small gardens or along the roadsides. There's not a whole lot of them, but there's a few of them. But they're not moving. They're just kind of smiling, looking off into the distance. You see a woman on her porch. She's rocking back and forth on a small rocking chair made of wood, humming a lullaby, it sounds like. And she has what appears to be a bundle of something, maybe a baby, in her arms. And she's cradling it like it is the most precious child in the world to her. Further down the road, near one of the trees, is a man who stands at a fruit cart with no fruit. His hands extended as if offering some of his wares, but his eyes are unfocused, and honestly, the look on his face is almost pure joy, almost pure happiness. It is disconcerting to say the least. But every single one that you encounter who is like this, their faces glow with contentment. Not quite joy, now you have a second look at it, but almost something warmer and deeper. Comes off as joy when you first look at it, but it's the kind of peace that you really only see from someone in a dream. Kind of peace that you wanted while in a dream, that you almost never get. And as you guys kind of look through this, you guys can feel in the air it's heavier than it should be. The scents around you, you would classify as almost too sweet. Lavender, honey, wild roses all around you. It's almost clogging up your senses. The sunlight above you never seems to dim. There's a lot of clouds above you, given the month, and yet it doesn't seem to affect the sunlight flashing down. The shadows around you don't shift. They don't change. The weather does not affect the light that flows through a town or the shadows. And you guys, especially as you get about halfway through the town, heading to the sheriff's house, so right about here, all of you hear in your heads a very gentle voice. Is nothing you can properly describe, but all you hear is an indistinct voice. Honestly, it might be more a voice that you would associate with like your semi-consciousness, so that back of your head voice. It's not quite statements, but you feel it as such. It says, "You could stay here, and you could have this too." But every so often, as you're walking, you see people who are not smiling. You see people who are, one person is hiding behind his shutter, kind of looking out, trying to see everything. You see a child being tugged away by their mother, who looks at your group of party members, and she very quickly leaves the area. They just kind of avoid you and don't want to go near you, or anyone else for that matter.
Ania's gonna put on her handkerchief over her nose and mouth.
It's not quite in your own voices. It's more the voice in the back of your head, you know, that like it's not quite an actual voice itself. I'm sure you've all heard the term like the voice in the back of your head tells you to not grab the hot, stove and stuff like that. That's the same voice. That's the same feeling. That's the same thing in the back of your head, which is telling you you could stay here. You could be at peace. As you guys
wants to mentally talk back to it.
You're more than welcome to.
I still have much work to do, and I wouldn't be able to forgive myself for eternity if I put it off.
It does not seem to respond. Are you saying this out loud or in your head?
Just in my head.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah. You're all still walking. You see the sheriff's house a little bit ahead of you. What would you guys like to do?
This is all strange.
Yeah, the reception is very different from most of the folks, he says, before looking back towards the Shutter and the Mother. Guys, they
is it
seem normal, though.
Is it the further into the center of town we get, the more normal the town is?
No, they're all on the outskirts of the town. All the people in the shutters, all the people in the the mother pulling your kids away. Almost all of them are on the outskirts of the town. The closer you get to the middle, where the lake is and a few of the other bits and pieces are, the more it's sickeningly sweet in the air, I would say.
Have I noticed any splotches on people?
On the man who has his hands outstretched, trying to offer the wares of his thing, you would definitely see it on his bicep. Would be a small splotch of pink. I would probably also say the woman would have one on the back of her hand that you can see. The one who is rocking the seeming baby
Bundle.
to sleep. Yeah.
All right, cool.
They are very hard to see, though.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Good. What'd you say?
Did they give us any sort of indication as to how these things work, or how we might begin getting things back to normal here? Looking towards Cyril.
No, that is for us to figure out.
Well, what we do know is that if this is supposed to be another entity like the mirror, so there has to be a source.
Still,
I suppose in this instance we'd be looking for the queen.
Do we even know what the workers look like?
I mean, we know who the afflicted look like.
I see your point. But where do we even begin with our search beyond that?
Well, let's start with what we already came here to search for, Sheriff and Alice. Hope Sapphire also said we should find where the affected look the worst.
That's a good point, too.
Yes.
I would say the closer to the center you are, the worse. Well, not worse, air quotes, they look. Again, the faces that they're giving off are pure contentment, pure joy, pure happiness in general. They're all doing something that you would say they wish to do, if that makes sense. They're all doing something that in theory makes them genuinely happy, for whatever reason. The mother, of course, rocking the baby. the man at the stand trying to give out his wares. These all things that are genuinely passionate and happy things that people would be doing, and they seem to just be stuck doing it, if that makes sense. And it's happening more or less all around the center of the town, around this little
Okay.
pillar.
So the sheriff's house is sort of in a zone that's closer to safe.
Yeah, it's kind of between the outskirts, which is the tree line, and the middle. So it's right in that middle section.
Part of me wants to go and have a chat with the marketeer over there. I get the sneaking suspicion, since he's likely had contact with some of the since he's probably one of the individuals who has interacted with the most folks in this area, I suspect he would probably show the strongest signs amongst many of the other infected.
This wouldn't count as a disease or poison.
I'm still not certain where to even place what this is. Or what to place, not where, my bad.
So you want to talk to the merchant?
I mean, Gelmar could probably separate and go do that, but
yeah,
that's just my personal thoughts.
I mean, we're gonna make sure that we don't leave you behind. That's for sure.
I mean, that's fair, but you could also try and talk him into following to the sheriff's house first.
No, I think it's a good idea to at least like have an idea what the people look like or what the people are like on our way to, fingers crossed, have a conversation with the sheriff, because it would give us a clue if the sheriff's infected.
That's fair. Considering we can kind of more easily tell that the guy running the market stall is out of it.
Okay. So yeah, I would say you start heading towards the merchant. The rest of you can either follow or watch at a distance, whichever one is preferable to your characters.
Nia follows.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my distance.
Okay.
Sapphire is typing her response.
Mm-hmm.
And I shall read it out for her.
No worries.
And Sapphire saying she will also follow at a distance along with Ciro.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you two kind of stay at more or less a distance. The merchant isn't too far from the main road. So Gelmar and Nia, you two reach it fairly quickly. I'll say Dakota is just kind of in the back line, wherever that back line may be, just this entire session.
Yeah, let's be real. I'm pretty sure Dakota would be freaked out by this too.
This is true, yeah. They're definitely trying to put on like some kind of cool kind of look. Definitely like very nervous in the background. But yeah, Nia and Galmar, you walk up to him. As you get close enough to him, he turns to look at you. Not quite robotically, but very unnervingly. Definitely is not regular motions, but he turns to you and he goes, new customers, welcome to the Estate Emporium. I would love to give you any and all wares that we have at value. Now the word State Emporium means nothing to you guys.
I mean, doesn't matter. We just need to act normal and see how he responds to basic stimuli.
Yeah.
Gelmar's going to step up with a jovial smile. Good morning. Yes, I heard great things about this shop. What exactly do you have for sale this time? He says, leaning over.
Well, my good sir. He attempts to grab one of your hands, like clapping them together. One of those like courtesy, like grab the hand, bow kind of a thing. That a few cultures have. Do you let him or do you pull back immediately?
I'm gonna pull back and just give a quick apologies, sir. I'm afraid I'm coming down with a small bit of a cold. Probably want to give me a few feet.
Ooh, I like that. He goes, no worries. In here we have all the best things. He like reaches over and grabs like an apple of sorts, and he hands it to you. He's like, this is a wonderful token of what we have to offer here. In this town, we all seek to stay. It's a wonderful place to be, full of happiness and passion. If you are sick, if you are hurting, she will find you and will take care of you. So feel free to stay if you would like. Everyone is welcome in Glimmering Meadows.
Is this the mayor of the town? And he says, giving a confused head tilt.
Oh, no. She came in just a few weeks ago. She calls to us. We all hear the call. We all get pulled towards her. And all she wants to do is make sure we are joyously happy. We are blissfully content. We are living the best life we can.
Oh, she sounds lovely. I'd be glad to go take a look and go. Above game, I suck at conversation.
You're more fun.
I would be glad to go check in with her. Seems like she'd be a fun lass to meet.
You would love to meet her. We can arrange that. You and your friend here, we can bring you to her. She can show you the world as she has shown all of us.
That won't be quite necessary. Though a general direction could definitely help.
There is the walkway down to her, but it's a little bit of a troublesome path. It starts off in that small church over there. He gestures to the other side of the town. We're right next to one of the main houses is a very small looking church. It's very, very small, very cutesy almost. It also looks very new. Like the wood is kind of more or less just put there. A lot of the stone is haphazardly put into place. It's a very quick building, but it does seem functionally solid.
Lovely.
Looks like it was built from other houses and other people's stone.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that. But you start there, and then you're able to continue to meet her. She does accept audiences, though some don't like the experience. But once they accept, once they truly seek what they desire, life becomes just happy.
Well then, we'll have to chat with her in a bit. Still have a couple other things we need to finish. On that note, how much do you charge for, say, 3 apples?
For 3 apples, for you, my friend, since you are new to the town, I will let you have them on the house. Take it as a gift of our bountiful supply.
Really? I heard it was very difficult to run any sort of business if you didn't require at least a little bit of cash. Let me give you a little something. Let me give you a little something at the very least to aid in the days to come.
I do appreciate it. It's very difficult to get money for giving money, but I like to think that if you offer courtesy to the ones who pass through, they'll be more likely to come back to you later, and then you get even more.
I'd say that's a reasonable start.
But if you would like to offer some money, I would be difficult to not accept it.
I'm just gonna give him 3 silver.
Oh,
one
nice.
for each of the apples.
That is significantly more than he would have charged, so he looks overjoyed.
Can I roll an insight, just general watching him while him and Gilmar talk?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm not looking for anything in particular except just weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
God damn.
Yes!
I am pretty sure across both campaigns, you are the one with the most natural 20s. Like,
and they're
far
everything
above.
about this guy.
I know his history.
It is all with your magic eyes. Good lord. All right.
It's always perception and insight.
It's insane.
A smartphone appears in her hands and shows her everything about him.
Jesus. So you're looking at him, you're kind of judging his general body language, you're kind of seeing what he's doing, kind of how he's reacting to certain stimuli, how he's reacting to certain situations. The number one thing you can say is this is legitimately something that he loves to do. You can tell that from every movement he's doing. This isn't something he's forced to do. This is the equivalent of you watching the stars. This is something that is practically ingrained into his natural state of being, and is something that he adores. It'd be like if you're watching a blacksmith start forging a blade, a druid doing whatever their subclass is, watching Sapphire hunt or carve. It's just something natural in his soul, and that is him being a merchant. He is beyond overjoyed. There's no sadness that you can feel. Most people have some degree of sadness, of tiredness, of something from their journeys that they hold within them. It's hard to see for a lot of people, but it is always there. You can see it in Cyril, you can see it in Gelmar, you can see it in Sapphire degree, you can see it very heavily in Dakota, is something that's just in your soul. He has none of that. This is a man who is truly happy, truly content with life, who is passionate about life. The moment that they mention her, whoever that may be, he gets just more radiating with joy. He clearly is very happy that they had moved in, so to speak, that they are allowing the world to be at peace here. He is like 100% sincere with everything. But it looks more like a dream state than anything else to you. The way he's moving, the way he's interacting, everything but his voice appears more like what you would imagine you would find in a dream more than anything else.
Can I ask, does his body have signs of tiredness, like bags at his eyes, even though he's like super exuberant?
I would say you would notice like a lot of his body seems to be tired. There are very minor bags under his eyes. They like his arms, when he lifts them up, they shake slightly. He seems to be in fairly decent health. He seems to not be malnourished or anything like that, but it does seem to have some of the telltale signs of very minor sleep deprivation at the moment.
Okay, so nothing like unexpected from someone who loves doing what they do and is going to stay up a night or two doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And she's just going to continue letting Gilmar and him interact.
Cool. I will say, as he's walking specifically, so like he turns to grab something to hand Gelmar like the apples and stuff like that, his legs do shake slightly, which is usually a sign of overexertion, of like walking too often, or walking too much, walking too far, other stuff like that. You could chalk it up to him just having, standing all day or something of that sort, but it's something that you would notice.
Roger that.
Okay. But yes, you give him the 3 silvers, which is significantly more than he would ever charge for basic apples. And he looks at you with just a look of sheer happiness. He just goes, your generosity is too kind, my good sir. This would be a wonderful place for you to settle down, for you to get that weight off of your shoulders and peace to find you. So if you're looking for a place to settle in, please give this town a chance.
Perhaps a little later. Fortunately, we still have a bit of work that we need to finish before we can fully settle down. We'll definitely be keeping that in the back of the mind for later.
The town will be here for when you need it.
Thank you for my business. This was lovely, he says, giving him a courteous bow before turning and go further down the road towards the sheriff's house.
Absolutely. It was a joy to have you both, featuring my small little cart. Have a wonderful time in our town. We welcome all.
Before Gilmar leaves the guy, the merchant, can I hear the conversation going on? Am I close enough?
100%, yeah.
Gilmar's going to hear in his head. Ask him about the sheriff. I want to see his reaction to that.
Okay, I'm assuming that's before he officially gives the goodbye?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, on that note, have you seen the sheriff lately? We were planning to meet up with him next.
Ah, the sheriff. I believe he's cooped up in his house. He hasn't left for a couple of days for whatever reason he might have. He must really love the cells that he puts individuals in. He's a strange feller. If you interact with him, don't let him sway you on these matters. He's clearly not fully right in the head. So be careful with a man like him.
And Nia's gonna lean over to Gilmar, all smug cat-like, like, I told you.
He's just going to say, oh, I wouldn't worry about him. I'd imagine he's just very busy. Besides, one can't really look down on one who thinks that highly about those he's responsible for taking care of, no?
Ah, that is true. One would expect that the sheriff of the town would interact with his citizens a little bit more, but we haven't seen him in several days. It's an unfortunate reality of our town, but one that may change soon enough.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's probably getting hungry. Perhaps I'll have to give him one of these apples. Thank you again for those. They look lovely.
Not to worry. Come again soon.
Of course. And then he will give the goodbye gesture I mentioned previously.
Yep.
Before making his way down towards the sheriff's house.
All right. You guys start walking down towards the sheriff's house. Is there anything else you like to do before you reach it?
I mean, aside from that, I'm just going to whisper to the rest of the group, I think the sheriff is fine.
And Neil?
And Nia's gonna say, don't eat those.
I wasn't planning on it. But I felt that I should probably buy something off of him.
Yeah, but also maybe put them somewhere not on your person.
There's a few more reasons than one that I use gloves. I actually need to double check. Do I even have any pouch or bag or anything on that like that on my person? Because I do not think that's a good idea to throw these in the bag of holding.
Watching him,
watching
him look around for a pouch or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna look to him and sort of like swat the apples out of his hand. Best to leave those there.
Just don't let the merchant see that you put them there.
I don't think he's capable of being sad right now.
I'm not talking about sad.
That's true. He might get mad, but in a happy way, which would be worse.
I'm not talking about emotions in general.
Oh.
We don't know how these things work. For all we know, some of these apples could be contaminated with something, but we also don't know how they would respond if they sense any sort of resistance to whatever is going on.
While we are approaching the sheriff's house, does it have ivy?
It has a little bit of ivy around the area. Not a whole lot, especially on the roof.
Okay. And Nia does want to stop to look at the ivy before she goes in.
Okay.
It's up to the team if they go in before her or not.
I think Cyril would want to go in before her.
Okay.
Can I roll like a nature check on the ivy?
Absolutely, yes.
Cool.
Sapphire's going in with Cyril.
Okay. 18 on nature. I would say you're checking out the ivy next to the house, and you're more or less trying to figure out if it's similar to other ivy, if it has any properties like that. You can feel distinct nature energy running off the ivy. It is very, very strong amounts of nature energy, far stronger than even you had put into the town itself. Something is causing this ivy to grow rampant, and you don't know what.
There's some Batman shit.
Pass you poison ivy.
Do I know any? I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
Do I recognize the ivy as maybe not like a specific kind, but can I tell, like, is it something that would bother you if you touched it? Do I notice anything of the specific kind?
It's fairly regular for this terrain. It doesn't seem like it would be the kind of ivy that like poison ivy or anything like that. It seems like it's like regular ivy. And is native to this terrain. So it doesn't seem like it would be particularly harmful.
Okay. After her stuff is done, she'll follow the others.
Okay. And Gelmar, did you say with Nia, or are you going with Cyril and Sapphire?
I was just gonna be following I'm just following whoever's going into the house,
Okay.
the sheriff's house.
So while
Okay,
Ania,
just tell me whenever. Yeah.
While Nia is to the side, kind of looking over the ivy, trying to find everything. Cyril, I assume you're the first one to step up. And you start like, I'm assuming, knocking on the door.
I'm gonna check if it's locked first.
Let's see. This is what happens when you have experienced players. You grab the door, try to open it. Essentially, is very much so locked, 100%. Which I think the last time you hear it was actually unlocked, if I recall correctly.
Right, and this is a sign that we're on the right track. That something is very wrong.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't think I need to see the person that I'm sending a message to.
I think you need to for message. I don't think you need to for the sending. Let me double check that real quick.
Because it says that it can go around corners and stuff.
You can cast this through solid objects if you're familiar with target and know is beyond the barrier. Magic, silence, 1 foot of stone, a thin shield lead, or 3 feet of wood will block the spell. This door is not 3 feet thick.
All right.
So you are able to send a message.
I'm familiar enough, I think.
Yeah.
But we don't know if he's actually in the house.
This is true.
We're about to find out. I'm gonna sort of like reach out. I'm gonna sort of reach out to him with the message.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff, we are outside the door. Are you in there?
Let me see. How far is the distance on the 120 feet. Jesus.
Oh yeah, message is the best utility spell.
Fucking hell. You hear a sound that you're very used to. The sound of a cup being thrown through the air. And then you hear, fucking God, my coffee! I hear in your head, I'll be right fucking God. Walks over.
He's there.
I think the sheriff is safe.
He walks over. You guys can hear like footsteps pounding. You see him open up the door, and he hears like coffee just all over his chest. And he's like, "I'm going to hurt one of you if you keep making me spill my coffee."
Sapphire points at Cyril. It was him.
Apologies. I will buy you more coffee later.
This is specially made coffee, man.
Unfortunately. But I'm trying to keep my voice low so I don't like alert anything around us right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it would seem that there is clearly a problem. And seeing as your door was locked, you have obviously been dealing with it.
Yeah,
May we come in?
Been annoying. Yeah, come on in. I'll switch my goddamn shirt again.
Just
you
go
should get
without
a-
the shirt.
oh, wait.
Be proud of yourself.
What was that, Neil?
Would Ania have been joined up with them again by this point?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
Since he opened the door, just kind of stood there for a second or two. You would have had enough time to do your IV checking and then walk up to the group.
And you like pop her head around the corner, like
Maybe you just need to get a lid for your cup or something.
My sister was always fond of the smell of prestidigitation. Perhaps something like that could be found around here.
He slowly
Or
looks
in nearby
over
towns.
at Nia. You are far smarter than I give anyone credit for.
Thank you.
All right, funnel in. Damn house is already tiny, but funnel in. I don't care. You all funnel in?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would assume yes.
Yep.
Cool. You
As soon as
all,
we all funnel in.
yeah, you all make your way in. He closes the door behind, probably Dakota is the last one, but he closes the door behind Dakota, and he walks over to another room where you hear cluttering and him clearly being annoyed at something before he comes back with a fresh new shirt over his scales. All right, let's get down to business. I don't remember where I heard that from, but yeah, it keeps being played in my head.
Do you want to lock the door again?
Yeah, right. Habit. He locks the door. So, last time you guys had messaged me, it was about, what was her name?
Alice.
Alice, thank you. About Alice and her potential contagion, or whatever it was. I can confirm that she did have very minor pink splotches on her. It was kind of weird. I had to, like, roll up one of her arms to do it. She didn't quite like that all that much. But she was definitely kind of a little bit annoyed at it. Ever since the town has been slowly increasing with those weird actions, it's all stuff they enjoy doing. Like the merchant out there, he's been merchant for 20 years. His blacksmith out there has just been hammering on a forge that's cold for hours each day. It gets kind of annoying sometimes, but it's not out there at the moment. The weird thing is, though, that sometimes it's not just what you prefer doing. I'm sure you all saw the woman rocking her chair when you all entered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a bundle of sticks. She lost her daughter about 4 years or so ago. And yeah, has had a difficult time with it, but ever since this contagion happened, she just kind of sat down and started humming a lullaby to it. It's like it's something she loves, she cares for. It's like she's gotten her kid back. It's very unnerving watching it. And do not try taking it from her. She will beat your ass. Don't ask me how I know. But it's super weird. Super weird.
Mm-hmm.
Starts brewing his coffee again.
The merchant mentioned you had people locked up here?
Oh, yeah, every now and again I'd like start putting people in case they have splotches on them or something. I had Alice in here for like a week or two, but they got a little bit rowdy when I had her in here for too long, so I had to let her go. She's at the stable just cleaning off horses and stuff like that. Doesn't seem to affect them for any reason. And before you ask, I do have a splotch, and he like points to his form, which has like it's like pink over his bronze scales, which is kind of weird. It doesn't seem like it should be going through, like, colorized through his shield scales, but it does. And he's like, I got it back when I touched Alice for the first time. I was trying to interact with her, but it hasn't done anything to me. I should know, because if I was happy, I wouldn't be in this house. But, you
and
know.
looks like she's struggling not to laugh.
I'm gonna like visibly take a step back and push everyone back another step.
He's like, I might be infected. I might not be. Who knows? I certainly don't feel the. He looks out the window. Outrageous quantity of happiness that they do. It's kind of sad about it a little bit actually, but yeah, it's whatever. I'm used to it.
Right. That's any new arrivals?
Not really. We don't really get new arrivals very often, aside from the runners that go back and forth between here and Harmonious. But only Jordan really does that, and he hasn't done that much. He's kind of just been at his farm for a while. Kind of weird.
Gelmar. I'm kind of turning to Gelmar and just sort of like with a question.
Yes.
What did the merchant say again?
Do you mean about the lady or the church?
Well,
Regardless, it seems he wants to ferry all of us there.
I think the lady is in the church, isn't she?
So he's told me, or at least so it's implied whatever the process that is intended to be conducted is going to happen in the church. Though from the sounds of things, I get the sneaking suspicion that they want us to be there in a group with more than just us, but with some of them as well.
He said there was a new arrival a few weeks ago who was around the church area.
I haven't seen a new people walking in. They did build the church a few weeks ago, which I thought was kind of weird. Alice was one of the ones who had started the production. They used, a couple houses that they broke down and moved over some of the stuff for. It's a kind of raggedy church, but it's weirdly, structurally stable, which I was frankly impressed by. They built in like 2 days. Yeah, farmhands though, raise that barn and all that. But every now and again they'll bring someone down into the church, and then they'll come out all smiley and happy and going about doing whatever they want to do. Some of them just go and farm for all day.
And you don't think that's weird?
I think it's exceptionally weird. I just haven't gone down there.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
About that pink mark of yours, what exactly did she do that before, leading up to the moment that it appeared?
Well, I checked her arm, and she just kind of grabbed my arm to stop me from looking at everything, and as she pulled away her arm, it just got turned into a pink splotch. I didn't pay too much mind at first, checked her arm, saw the pink blotch, and went, all right, come with me, and brought her back to my, to the cells, but,
So it is the physical so it was an act of physical contact. The question is it all physical contact, or did she intentionally do something to make that happen?
He shrugs. I have no idea. I don't remember what she said to me exactly at that point in time. That hasn't done anything to me, for whatever reason, but,
I think you have to go to the church for it to do anything, if everyone is only becoming happy after they leave.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that, like Alice, for example, had it before she went to the church since she helped build it. But, very, very few of them tend to, I suppose, mentally adjust before going into the church. But after they go into the church, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to come out weirdly smiling or whatever. I think
maybe
about 5 of them have done so without being in the church.
Maybe that's why they want us to go with some of them.
Possibly.
To place the mark before whatever's going on.
Yeah. They have a habit of just kind of guiding people to the doors, and after they go in, I've looked through the window a couple of times, and they look at, stairs and just kind of gesture them down the stairs. And then they come back up, and then they walk out of the church together. But it's very rare that the shall we call them smiley folk, go down the stairs themselves.
Have you seen anything within the church itself? I know you haven't gone in, but have you looked through the windows?
Yeah, it's just a weirdly open church. There's like one podium at the back. There's no pews or anything like that. It's just very empty, very big. Honestly, it's more like a shed than a church, aside from the podium. But they treat it as holy, I suppose.
But you don't ever see anyone in there?
No, not unless somebody brings one of the smiley folk in.
Does this new person in the church live inside somewhere, underneath?
I assume they're down the staircase if there's a new person who came in. I haven't seen a new person come in, but they have been talking about, he air quotes, her, since, Alice was infected. But there's been no new people coming in, no one really ever leaving either, which, it's what is. We're a fairly tight-knit group here, so it's very rare that anyone ever leaves the town, and it's very rare anyone ever comes into the town, but especially the last couple weeks, just no one has come in.
You say since Alice was infected, was she acting happy before you checked her?
Nah, she was acting as she usually did. She just spent more time with the horses, bigger smile on her face and all that. So I mean, she was a little bit happier than she normally was, but she's a fairly happy girl, so didn't really seem abnormal to me at the time.
Hey, I did have one other question I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Remember the woman you were talking about previously, rocking the stick bundle?
Indeed.
Did she seem any more herself when you tried taking it away?
Not quite. Before she did the bundle, she was angry, I guess, a lot. She also was a drunkard. She regularly visited the tavern most days, either to forget or just to find something to do with her time. Not quite sure. But she was not a particularly kind individual. Ever since she started rocking that baby, she's gone back to kind of how she was before she had gotten pregnant. And she was a gentle-hearted soul at that point in time. When you take away the bundle, honestly, it's very similar to as if you stab someone right in front of her. She goes after you with blood, and she desperately tries getting that bundle back like is the only thing in life that matters to her.
I mean, that definitely still sounds like the angry personality you were describing before, but I was hoping, at the very least, some sort of gesture of defiance to whatever's going on might just simply cause them to slowly start working back. Like, almost to accept what you had would push away at it as it tries to. I guess the best way to phrase it is fill you with pride for what you could have.
I think the key thing you said there was defiance. I don't think they want to defy anything.
Exactly my point.
Well, even if you take away what they want, they still want it.
That's fair. I was just wondering if there would be some sort of way to just figure out what it was that was guiding these people in these positions, to find some way to slowly direct them back to their normal state some other way. Not to
Well,
say that
whatever
we
it is,
shouldn't
it's
do
in the
something.
church.
Not
Yeah.
Was that
agreed.
separate?
Not to say that's not to say that we
Whatever it
shouldn't
is
be.
in the church.
That agreed. It's not to say that we shouldn't be doing something about the church, but perhaps as another step to this, we still don't know quite understand what it is we're dealing with. And I bet anything is like the last time we were in here. I get the sneaking suspicion most of the residents who still haven't succumbed to whatever this is probably aren't going to be the most interested in talking to us about what's going on.
Well, I could try to heal the sheriff.
That's a
I
good
mean, if it's that
point.
easy, by all means, go for it.
Okay, but you're not allowed to touch me. Does anyone have like gloves?
Yalmar looks down at the ones he's wearing.
Actually, I
Yes,
don't
but
need
they also
gloves.
had the had the apples.
And Nia's actually going to like, shift as if she's going to use her staff. She's like,
Would you allow me to try to heal you, sir?
Sure, I guess. He kind of raises up his arm towards you.
all right, Nia will lower her staff and like try to touch it to the back of his hand, and I would like to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay. Let me just double check its wording real quick.
Demons be gone!
One disease or condition. Okay. You attempt to cure it, and for just a moment the pink seems to disappear. And then you can see under like his scale, you can see his scales moving with this. Is something like moves up and down his arm for some reason or another. He goes, "Oh, that's a weird feeling." As like the scales like rippling along his arm as it moves up and down before it settles again, and then the pink reappears in the new spot along his forearm.
Next step is to stab your hand.
Oh God!
Right.
You're-
Sheriff,
Cyril, you said that whatever was going on was some sort of insect, didn't you?
I did, and this actually proves something, and it seems like this seems like a good step in the right direction.
Oh, actually,
Although I don't think that you will appreciate what we need to do in order to help you, Sheriff.
I feel like someone taking a knife to me is not the most pleasant thing in the world to think about.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm pretty sure she's the closest thing we have to a surgeon right now.
He kind of looks down at
good at it with a knife.
I've skinned a few animals.
Which
I don't
actually
think
is the
that's
type
quite.
of skill we need.
Gilmar slashes for it. I think that's a bit more blunt than we probably should be saying here.
You know, I don't know if medic's hands or Skinner's hands are better in this case, and I hate that this is a conversation that we're having.
Well, the conversation's
There-
about to get a little weird. Gilmar, do you have 2 belts that you can give me, please?
He
Before
looks
we
down
do
at the
anything,
belts running down his chest piece.
Mm-hmm. And what are you saying, Neil?
if we do interfere with it, is there a chance it can tell the others what's going on?
It seems to interact with the other people, but at least the one on me hasn't. Anything I say and do hasn't. No one's really mentioned that I've been seeing or doing it. Most of them left me alone, so it seems to have a semi-hive mind for those who are blissful, but yeah, I probably don't come off as blissful.
Hey, Sen, another thought that crosses my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Have all the people who are currently visibly under the effects of whatever this is,
Mm-hmm.
have all of them always been under the open sun? Or ultimately in sunlight?
Some of them are. There's a few of them that aren't. The merchant, for example, is under a tree.
I just you did mention that whatever's going on here seems to be impacting the plants as well. So I'm starting to wonder if it's just like, is this also like a photosynthesized thing somehow?
Possible.
Because it's like he's been in the house where theoretically there's a lot more shade.
Right.
Yeah, I will say that the sun not changing in the village and the shadows not moving is odd.
Oh.
I mean, he did mention that as we were walking in.
Yeah.
I must have missed that part when during the description. The sun hasn't moved at all?
Specifically the sunlight that is hitting the area does not flicker or change even with the clouds covering the sun. And as such, no, the shadows in the area change or flicker in any way, shape, or form either, as the light hasn't moved.
Okay, so we're contained. This place is contained in some kind of dome.
You would probably say so,
Sheriff,
yeah.
has it gotten dark at all, like during the night? Or is the sun out all the time?
I would say it's like a if you take a coin and you flip it, yeah, that's how fast it changes from sun to dark and dark to sun. It doesn't gradually change anymore. It's just a sudden change.
It's like something's play acting. But the more immediate thing to take care of is your little passenger. And I'm gonna take the belts from Gelmar. Is there a chair in this?
I imagine he just like physically rips them off of his chest plate.
Yeah, there are many chairs
that have arms, like an armrest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna motion to one of those.
Just gonna belt him into like an electric chair or something like that.
No. We need to strap his arm down, and we need to contain that little insect in between the belts.
Shouldn't we at least make sure he's sedated properly first?
Do you have alcohol?
It would not exact.
We can knock him out.
No, just go get the wooden spoon.
You have a sleep spell. Why would you knock him out?
Just go get something for him to bite. I'm sure he's quite tough. Get something for him to bite on.
Sheriff, have you perchance seen or heard anything involving the barkeep yet? Is he known to be under the effects?
I have no idea. It's been a couple of days since I've left the house.
I would be more than happy to go home and check in if he's got something that could potentially... I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound brutal. Knock out your lights.
Sedate.
Nah. You see, I got this probably. He walks over to another area of the house and like he crouches down, opens one of the cupboard doors where under his dresser and stuff, and he reaches in, like his whole arm goes into it, and you hear like metal clinking and tinking and stuff like that as like it seems to open like some kind of safe or something of that sort, several doors under there, and he reaches fully in before pulling out quite possibly the most expensive looking drink you guys have ever seen in your life.
Well, there goes the joke I was about to pull out, but okay.
The good stuff.
It's like this is I don't remember what its name was. I think some people call it like Dragon God wine or some shit like that. I've never tried it, but I was told, I was given this as a gift, and I was told, only drink this if you don't want to wake up tomorrow and you want to wake up the next day.
That sounds a touch stronger than I was looking for, but I suppose if that's how you want to handle it, by all means, I suppose... I suppose it's not really a gift if you don't use it.
Yeah. All right. He pours like a shot of it. It is beautiful. Like even the pouring of it is absolutely stunning. This is like heaven in a drink, basically. But he pours a shot of it. He puts it back. And he's like, all right. And he puts it down. I need one of you to take this when I'm out cold and put it back in my slot. You just put it back in there, slap it closed.
Will do, Galmar says, trying to cork it.
What'd you say, Sapphire?
I said I was going to grab the bottle. And
nice.
do just that.
Okay, yeah, fair. She can do that.
Yeah. He sits down, allowing you to do all this stuff. He's like, all right. Cheers, buds. Wonder if this tastes good. Probably not worse than the coffee I'd spilled on me. And he like takes the entire thing back. What was that?
Smells immaculate to me.
Yeah. He's like, whew, that goes down buttery smooth. It works really fast too. It's sun, stars. The world's changing. It's spinning now. It's spinning. Why is it spinning? Is that what you stars see?
Imagine, I can just already hear the thump.
Yeah, he's like looking off into the distance for a second. He's like left arm. He's like tracing like constellations almost from what Nia can tell. It's very close to constellations, but not quite. Where he's just like, that's pretty.
So while he's knocking out, I'm taking the belts on the infected arm, and I'm strapping him in like really tight as the belts can go, and just kind of tying them off.
Okay.
So that we can contain this insect in between the belts. It can't move under the. As long as it can't like dig into the meat of his arm.
Yeah.
It won't be able to get out from in between the belts fast enough.
All right. Now he does have a lot of scales on his arms, so that might prove to be an issue.
Have you ever skinned something with scales before? Like a big lizard or anything?
No, but I'd like to try.
I will stand by.
Y'all are just face bombs. Two of you are having way too much fun with this.
I also said that with a vicious grin on my face.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna actually use so that Ania doesn't have to use any more spell slots here. I'm going to use I don't know, like five points for my lay on hands to do the same thing that she did.
Okay.
I
see. Yeah.
Will allow you to suppress an effect ongoing.
Yeah, so doing the same thing that Ania effectively did with Lesser Restoration, you do in fact cure the pink splotch, and you guys see the scales once again rippling and moving as it starts pretty much bouncing back and forth between the belts.
As soon as it starts moving, I'm just gonna yell out to Sapphire, "There now!" And it's totally on her now.
Yeah. I mean, Nia and Sapphire, if you would like to do that, feel free for one of you or both of you to roll me a dexterity check. If Nia doesn't want to do it with advantage.
Yeah, Nia wants to help Sapphire and cast Guidance.
Okay. Ooh, and Guidance too. Okay, so Sapphire, roll a dexterity check with advantage. And is Guidance 1d4?
Yeah.
Okay, plus a 1d4.
Just simply so I could feel like I'm doing something, I'm also going to get the gold rune available at the side to mend whatever injury is going to be obtained from this surgery.
Very nice. Jesus Christ.
Right.
So that was a good roll.
Fucking 26, yeah.
26.
Yes.
It's like that's like me asking if fucking 30 hits your AC.
You ask the dexterity buff to do a dexterity roll.
With the practiced hands of a surgeon.
God, you have skinned probably hundreds, if not thousands, of creatures in your time so far.
He's not even bleeding.
Yeah, you've rarely done it to like lizards or scaled creatures or anything of that sort before, but it's really not that different from what you're able to tell. You lift up his scales quite a bit, like you make an incision. You just like hardcore dive into it, and the weird creature does pretty much like pop out of the incision that you've made. You've made it quite big, but you're also like very good at not damaging him too much. But you do make basically a big enough exit wound that it pops out. You are fast enough and stable enough that if you want to, you can just straight up impale the thing on your knife.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Impale it. We'll make it into a kebab and maybe cook it for dinner.
God.
I'll feed it to my dog.
Hey, do you have the dog?
Right.
So yeah, it pops out. It like shoots out almost like a bullet from the exit wound. And yeah, you just like flip your knife around and just stab right through it as it's like a couple feet into the air. And as you like turn your knife over. Yeah, it's a weird little parasite creature. It definitely has a lot of bug features on it. And it's like multi-segmented too. So it has a lot of like very weird and creepy, but is very, very bright pink.
Look at that. Good job.
Yeah. So I'm gonna unbuckle the buckles, and I'm gonna do another quick lay on hands on him to seal up the wound.
Nice. He is out cold.
That's fine. That's fine.
Wonder if I could remove. I don't even want to remove his drunkenness with lesser restoration. I don't know if it would be strong enough to do it.
He is very much so out like a light.
Yeah. All right. So so we're looking at this little creature she has impaled on a knife.
Yep.
Nature, animal handling, inspection. Inspection's not the real one.
I'd probably say either a nature roll or a yeah, I'll probably say a nature roll for those. Either a nature roll or investigation roll. Either one's fine.
Can I give her advantage? Because I'm also trying to figure this thing out.
Absolutely.
All right, so nature roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
24, not bad. That is damn near 20. Yeah, so you are looking at this creature. What are you looking for specifically?
I guess any similarities to existing bugs I know. I assume bugs are not my specialty, though.
No.
No. So what would I specifically look for in a bug? What would Cyril be good at since Cyril's helping?
I'm looking for anything that like identifies it with similarities of insects I've seen before. Like, I know from what we know from where it came from, it's parasitic. So, does it resemble a tick?
I probably am familiar with parasitic insects as far as animals go.
Yeah.
Would Cyril have fought in his past any like insect cryptid eldritches?
Probably not. I don't think you would have. Probably big bugs, but not anything like
like an oncag infestation is probably what I would have come across the most.
I think what Ania is most interested in is if it looks like it's a larval stage or if it looks like it can grow into a different, like, once a certain trigger is made, if it will mature.
So I would say that visually speaking, this is very similar to, let me just double check real quick. Probably a larger version of lice. You know, like a tick-sized lice, more or less. Like a really big tick-sized lice.
Tiny. Okay.
Yeah. Like this thing is arguably the size of like your whole thumb knuckle, more or less. But it visually looks like a lice. So they're yeah, it's fairly large. It's also fairly disturbing looking. But it's about the length of your thumb knuckle. It looks like it's not 100% developed, so it could potentially grow even up to your whole thumb length. As disturbing as that sounds, it seems to be not quite in a larval stage from what you can tell, Nia, but you would probably classify this as like a stage 2. You know, larval stage 1, this probably be stage 2. Like, it's not fully grown, it still needs to do something. It probably has some kind of trigger to be able to grow into something else, grow into something bigger. You're not quite sure. But just based on its general look, based on your knowledge of other bugs and other creatures, it's probably a stage 2 creature where like it still has room to grow, still has something it needs to achieve.
I think the term would be instar. I believe some insects have like different instar stages, or maybe that's crustaceans. I'll have to look into that later. But Inia would pipe up and say,
"It's not fully grown. It looks like it could I was suspecting that maybe it needs some sort of trigger in order to reach full size. It definitely looks like that to me, that it's waiting, because some insects can wait years for the exact conditions they need to fully grow. So this one looks like it was probably waiting for those right conditions.
So if we were to find one from, say, that merchant out there, no, I'm not suggesting we go and do that right now, but if we did, does that mean that it would have been larger, or do you suspect it would have looked similar? It just has more of an effect from something else.
We can go find out.
We do have people in jails here.
Jesus Christ.
Do we have people in jail?
Yeah, he jailed a few.
Said so.
Yeah, there's a couple people in the
He
jails.
had people in jail, but I thought he also made the comment that he released at least one of them.
I kind of agree with Sapphire.
But if we do, those ones are older, and he did say they have some sort of hive mind, so if we mess with one of them, they'll definitely know. Although it would be fascinating.
And that would mean that the fight would be brought to us.
And they most certainly would not be as... What's the word I'm looking for here? Cooperative.
That makes it more fun.
Oh my god.
Are you a sadist? Marsa's giving a terrified recoil.
I'm gonna looking at the drunk sheriff and over to the bottle of very powerful alcohol. Well, if he has a funnel.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We could always try to knock one of them out.
All it takes is for one person to see it.
Well, as we just saw, knocking out the person doesn't knock out the insect.
Right. But if we do that, upset the bug, and remove it, we would possibly be bringing the fight to us instead of going into their lair.
I feel that it would be safer to go to the church first,
And while Ania's saying this, she's getting out one of her empty potion bottles and offering it open top to Sapphire for her to insert the dead bug inside for sample purposes.
Ooh.
Sapphire puts the bug in the bottle.
Is the bug dead?
Oh yeah, it was impaled all the way through.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if it was one of those types of bugs where like you can stab it through and it'll still be kind of like okay.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like how the cockroach can survive for like 6 weeks without a head?
Oh, I mean like a lot of bugs that I've come across.
This one is definitely dead. It looks like being impaled will kill it.
Okay. Well, what if? We know we've at least helped the chicken. What if we faked it? And we brought the sheriff down there?
I mean, if it's a hive mind, I would imagine that they probably would already know something was up.
Right.
Well, usually they go to the church with people with them. I don't think he ever mentioned one of them going alone. I assume something's in there that is doing something to people. We could sneak in. I don't think bringing the fight to us is going to help any matters because these are just infected people. And we don't want to hurt them. I mean, they'd just be attacking us and we'd be trying to get their hands while they're trying to either kill us or constrain us to drag us to the church. We'd be at a severe disadvantage.
What if we found our way down to the church as quietly as we could?
I like that.
Under the cover of darkness. Under the cover of darkness. And Ania, could you turn into that?
Ania pauses and looks at it. I don't think turning into animals lets me turn into insects.
Actually, I'm pretty sure insects classify as beasts. I know giant centipedes do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at my features here. She'd also mentioned that, like,
turning into an animal is understanding it. So even though I've seen these things, I don't think I understand them nearly enough. They also seem perhaps somewhat magical. And if they do have some sort of hive mind, I don't think I would actually want to risk turning into them. It's not the same as shape-shifting.
Do we have any other good ways of sneaking in and at least seeing what's ahead of us in there?
No, Sapphire is good at sneaking.
I'm really good at sneaking.
I don't want to risk sending...
I could send Lafari, but Lafari's the most worst at sneaking, but they did say it didn't affect things like horses.
I could...
I could turn into a different creature, like perhaps a cat, and go in, but I don't know if they would recognize that I'm not actually a real cat.
Right.
And I do
maybe...
not do well alone.
Well, maybe... I'm gonna look to Sapphire. I think we may... I hate the idea of sending anyone in there.
without some form of disguise. But it would seem that the best thing we can do is send you in there. Unless anyone has better ideas.
That's okay. I had already planned to go in under cover of darkness.
Alone?
Well, anybody's free to come with, but I'm sneakier alone.
I don't
wouldn't
have
be
the
surprised.
spell. Go ahead, Gilmore.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the tunnels down there were an entire nest, which would mean you'd have a lot of things to hide from at once.
They also may not use vision as the way of sensing if people are there. Insects can tell their surroundings from a variety of ways. I could send an actual animal in there, but I don't have that spell ready. We could wait here a little bit and I could prepare, but I need a willing creature to do it. I'm not going to force any creature to do something. And I cannot summon my own to do so either.
Gelmar looks over towards the still probably KO'd sheriff. I mean, he did say that he'd be out cold for a few more days off of that alone. Do you think we could just bunker down here until evening and run our preparations as we need to in the meantime? Theoretically, if we clean up after ourselves and don't take anything, it's not going to make any difference.
I'm sure we can stay here as long as we need to. He's been holed up here in a few days. It's not like they've attacked him or anything.
Exactly my thoughts.
If anything, they're actively avoiding him as best they can.
Maybe there's something around here that repels them.
Coffee?
You know, that might actually not be the worst idea. But we need to test that theory first.
We could, since the sheriff is out cold, we could just offer some coffee to the people in the jail.
And see if they recoil from the smell.
And that way they wouldn't find out anything's wrong. We're just trying to help people out.
I think we should do that. Also, Nia, do you still have your explosives from our little
I do.
If we do send Sapphire in, and it does turn out to be a nest, those would probably help her the most.
And Nia leans like dramatically over to Sapphire to one side, like,
would you like bombs?
Sure.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
At this point, I'm going to have to prepare another storm room, and it seems that she's planning to run in there.
Y'all somehow disturbingly, but also very entertainingly, more destructive than my other team of actual criminals.
Listen, sometimes to save the world, you have to break a few eggs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's be real. We are kind of behaving like delinquents, like full time.
Oh, I fucking love it.
We're trying our hardest to be good people, but we are still kind of lunatics.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Everything we do has been wonderful. We are very good people. What do you mean trying to be good people? We've done nothing but good.
Yeah. I've done very good things, and somehow are also very prone to destruction.
And it turns out good.
The only times we've been prone to destruction was the moonbeam incident. That worked out great.
Except for,
and the
drug
camp incident also worked out perfectly fine.
I also want to point out neither of those occasions did Gelmar actually end up hurting anyone physically.
That's true. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so you guys going to
I am neutral good. I have to change that to chaotic good.
But yeah, so you guys going to try giving coffee to the folks?
Yeah. See what happens.
Getting coffee to them is decently easy. In the other room, he has like 2 people who are clearly infected. You don't know exactly what they're doing, but they are like in some kind of mental bliss. They're like acting out something or another in their heads, it looks like. Not 100% sure what they're doing. But you offer coffee to one of them. They gratefully accept. They drink it down. They hand back the cup to you, and it's they don't seem to be affected by it much.
Enjoy.
And they'll go back to the sheriff room, I assume.
All right. Well, we know the coffee trick isn't going to do anything for us.
Does he smoke? Is smoking a thing?
The sheriff does smoke. What are they called? They're not cigs. They're
stogies.
Oh, cigars. That's what it is. He has a very crude form of cigar that he tends to have. He has a couple of them on his desk.
And he will take one and inspect it.
It's
See
very,
if she can like
nice.
smell any like specific herbs.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. What is a cigar made of?
Tobacco.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
specifically,
it's literally just burning tobacco on a paper wrapper.
No, a good cigar is literally just the tobacco leaf, and it's multiple of them sometimes.
Yeah. So it's not quite tobacco on this one. It's almost the exact form and shape of a cigar, but it's not quite tobacco. It seems to be like a variation of it in this world. Doesn't hit quite as strong.
It's marijuana.
It's the marijuana. Not quite. But yeah, it's a slightly separate blend from proper tobacco in our world. It makes it a little bit easier for people to smoke it without, horrible, dangerous aspects to it. But yeah, he has a couple of them. They smell okay. You don't really particularly like the smell of this plant normally. It doesn't smell particularly good, but it does work to calm people down a lot.
And Nia's gonna like poke her head into the room of the jail, be like, "Either of you want a cigar?"
They look at her. They both just shake their heads slowly, kind of looking at you with slight confusion before going back to what they were doing.
Okay.
And she'll go back.
He's like, "Well, that didn't seem too affected. I just seemed confused."
It does make you wonder if it is smoke in general, though.
Let's light it and throw it in there.
Oh my god.
I don't want to do anything too weird.
I'm just gonna grab the cigar, shove it in between my teeth because I don't have skin on my face. And I'm gonna light the cigar and just go over and just right into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big plume of smoke.
They both look at you very confused as you walk in, slowly smoking. They just go, Did you replace the sheriff? Is he okay?
Oh, the sheriff is fine.
Oh. Did he give you his cigar?
No, I just thought it would be a nice treat after saving his life. And I'm just gonna put the cigar. I'm just gonna put the cigar out on my armor and walk out. I'm not even gonna continue the conversation.
The absolute confusion as you walk. They're not even going back to what they were doing. They just stare at you in abject confusion as you walk out.
I think it was just his sparkling personality.
Appreciate that, Jason.
That's a fair point.
It does still seem like there has to be something in here that would be restricting its growth.
You know what he said? Good.
Let me take a look around myself. Above game, I suck at investigation checks. It's not going to go well.
Enia's going to do...
We know it doesn't have anything to do with him being a dragonborn. Otherwise, the merchant would have avoided Gelmar earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you saying, Enia?
Enia's going to, like, be laughing as she says, it's like,
you know, when he first said it didn't affect him, I thought he just didn't have anything he was happy enough about.
Ooh. That could be it. He was a sour fellow.
Surely there has to be something he would like to do more.
If you like to roll investigation, Gelmar, you are more than welcome to.
Wait, was it?
Oh, Gelmar.
Trips on his own feet going to the desk. Gets knocked out by one of the loose floorboards or something.
Oh my god. Yeah, so you guys just see Gelmar, like, he's like, all right, I'll go take a look myself. He turns around, starts walking. He bumps one of his feet with his other foot as he's like trying to move and carry. And then he just kind of takes a dive downwards as he's like falling in almost perfect walking position before the corner of his head just slams into the desk at like full force, just moving forwards, and the corner of desk just clips the shit out of him, and yeah, he hits the ground like a sack of potatoes, and he's just out.
Oh no.
He's knocked out.
Oh dear.
Oh shit. There's no cold water in here, is there, right now?
It's probably a little bit of it for like his coffee and shit, but not really.
I'm gonna go get some cold water and I'm just gonna throw it on Gelmar. See if that wakes him up.
We could throw the coffee on him.
I don't want to burn him.
And he's gonna check if he's injured.
Yeah, he bashed his head pretty hard on it. It definitely has a bruise forming, a little bit of blood. He hit the corner real hard.
She'll do
just
a cure wounds. She'll cure wounds. Should I cast it or just say she used it?
Just say you used it. Well. So you cure wounds a little bit, especially with your walking, you grabbing the cold water, you cure wounds, he splashes on his face. So Gelmar, you open up your eyes as the cold water splashes against you.
High five. Don't treat me like some withering snake.
Good. I knew that would wake him up.
Well, I guess they just have to use a framed and blind.
Fucking dying, Jesus Christ.
You okay?
Gelmar, are you there?
You're muted.
Sorry.
As to his bearings.
The head feels a little sore. The head feels a bit sore, but otherwise fine. What happened?
Stripped.
Let's just say investigating is not your strong suit.
You get too focused on the items and you don't watch where you're going. You have hyper focus.
He has a slightly irritated look on his face, which is like the sort of, I want to come up with an argument, but I can't think of anything.
That would be the head wound.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But I can't. There's got to be some sort of reason for why this is for why some things are war. Or there has to be some reason for why they're leaving him completely alone.
Maybe they're just waiting.
Him. He's almost literally abducting the very individuals that are pushing forward with their desires. Why wouldn't they have some sort of desire to at least tell him off?
They're happy.
But they're also but if what was described is true, then they're also part of a hive mind at the moment.
What does it matter to a hive mind if there's only 2 people in jail and they'll be let out? Oh goodness, what is that?
What was that?
That was me blowing my nose, sorry.
Oh.
Bless you.
Mm-hmm.
What does it matter to... Oh, good.
I think the fact that he has a few of them in the cells means that they already have eyes on him.
True.
They might just not care.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
But I think, like multiple of us have suggested, I think we wait till nightfall and then make our move.
And that
Seems
gives
as
us
good an
time
idea as
to
any.
prep and such as well.
Agreed.
Alrighty. Well, with that, that is where we're going to leave off. So, next episode, which will be in 2 weeks, I think. Wait, hold on just a moment. It's been 2 or 3?
3.
In 3 weeks. Sorry, my sense of time. Actually, no, it'd be 2.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. It'd be 3. I'm looking at the numbers wrong. It'd be on the 11th. Yeah, the 11th of next month. I am going to be taking a hiatus from the 22nd to the 6th of next month. After that point, I will start streaming again, so we're not going to have anything from the week of the 22nd or the week of the 29th. I am still going to be doing tomorrow's session for King's Kindness. But after that point, yeah, just completely off for about 2 weeks or so. End of June is not a fun time, and I don't want to kind of present that on stream as much. So yeah, taking a 2-week break, and then on the week of the 6th of July week, we will be coming back. If you guys want more updates on everything that we're doing or anything that I do consistently, feel free to come over to our Discord, where we have a whole bunch of fun things that we do. If you guys have not seen it just recently as well, Discord has started to roll out, good night, Ray. Discord has started to roll out server tags, specifically if you have 3 server boosts. Currently we have 1 because Chocobunny is very generous and such a sweetheart. If you guys want to see us have a server tag of Purg, feel free to do that. You get 2 server boosts for every nitro that you get. It is absolutely not required in any way, shape, or form, but if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to exist there, absolutely feel free to pop over, give us some love, and then you guys can have Purg at the end of your name to show that you are part of the Purgatory Corner library. I was going to go with Alliance or like Army, but that sounds excessive. We're librarians, not soldiers. But join the library, it'll be fun. But we are going to move over to our end screen, which you have not seen before. Absolutely feel free to pop over to Story, because she is an absolute sweetheart and made this. Players T? Yes, that's how you do it. So feel free to pop over to that. As always, Story is going to go live, I think, tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, she's going to go live tomorrow, so feel free to check her out if you guys have not already. We are going to raid. Who are we going to raid? I rated Lissa recently. I rated her twice. I will not rate Lissa today. I rated Envy once. She's BRB though. I don't want to rate her. Well, she's BRB. I haven't rated Rise in a while. Oh right, Rise, Lissa, Envy, Ratty, and one of their other friends are doing Repo tonight. I haven't been able to raid Ratty for a long time, but I don't think she's going to be streaming. But we are going to pop over to my friend Rise. She is a furry VTuber, absolute sweetheart. We play Repo with her every now and again, I think. But we play a couple other games with her. Just various games every now and again. But she's a good friend of Lissa's. She's a good friend of the community. She's a good friend of Envy's. So we're gonna pop over to her, tell her hi, give her some love. As she is an absolute sweetheart. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just looked at fucking how much points Dan has got. But Rise is an absolute sweetheart. We absolutely adore having her. She was going to be playing Borderlands with us, but unfortunately that fell through. So we're probably going to have her on a different series at some point or another. But right now she is just chatting. She is getting ready for Repo as everything starts setting up. But if you guys have not raided us with us before, absolutely go ahead and copy that raid message. We are going to be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST for some King's Kindness, and then we will have our hiatus for those 2 weeks. So check out our content, check out our Discord, check out our Vods of Valhalla, check out Tables Taurus, all the fun stuff that we do. We're going to be working on many, many projects, and I'm very excited for all of them. All right, have a lovely night, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you players for joining, and I will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.